For long minutes I waited, wide awake, wondering what my next move should be. Finally, deciding that I should again consult with the boys, I swung my legs over the edge of the bed, but immediately had to swing them back again as Big Ma re-entered the room. She passed the bed and pulled a straight-back chair up to the window. Parting the curtains so that the blackness of the night mixed with the blackness of the room, she sat down without a sound. I heard the door to the boys' room open and close, and I knew that Mamma had gone in. I waited for the sound of the door opening again, but it did not come. Soon the chill of the cotton sheets beneath me began to fade, and as Big Ma's presence lulled me into a security I did not really feel, I fell asleep. When I awoke, it was still nightly dark. "Big Ma?" I called. "Big Ma, you there?" But there was no reply from the chair by the window. Thinking that Big Ma had fallen asleep, I climbed from the bed and felt my way to her chair. She wasn't there. Outside, an owl hooted into the night, quiet now except for the drip-drap of water falling from the roof. I stood transfixed by the chair, afraid to move. Then I heard a noise on the porch. I could not control my trembling. Again the noise, this time close to the door, and it occurred to me that it was probably the boys coming to confer with me. No doubt Mamma had left them alone, too. Laughing silently at myself, I hurried onto the porch. "Stacy," I whispered. "Christopher John." There was a sudden movement near the end of the porch, and I headed toward it, feeling along the wall of the house. "Little man? Hey, y'all, stop fooling around and answer me." I crept precariously near the edge of the high porch, my eyes attempting to penetrate the blackness of the night. From below, a scratchy bristliness sprang upon me, and I lost my balance and tumbled with a thud into the muddy flower bed. I lay paralyzed with fear. Then a long, wet tongue licked my face. "Jason? Jason, that you?" Our hound dog whined his reply. I hugged him, then instantly let go. "Was that you all this time? Look at what you've gone and done," I fussed, thinking of the mess I was in with mud all over me. Jason whined again, and I got up. I started to climb back onto the porch, but froze as a caravan of headlights appeared suddenly in the east, coming fast along the rain-soaked road like cat eyes in the night. Jason whined loudly, growing skittish as the lights approached, and when they slowed and braked before the house, he slunk beneath the porch. I wanted to follow, but I couldn't. My legs would not move. The lead car swung into the muddy driveway, and a shadowy figure outlined by headlights of the car behind him stepped out. The man walked slowly up the drive. I stopped breathing. The driver of the next car got out, waiting. The first man stopped and stared at the house for several long moments, as if uncertain whether it was the correctest destination. Then he shook his head, and without a word returned to his car. With a wave of his hand, he sent the other driver back inside, and in less than a minute the lead car had backed into the road, its headlights facing the other cars. Each of the cars used the driveway to turn around. Then the caravan sped away as swiftly as it had come, its 7 pairs of rear lights glowing like distant red embers, until they were swallowed from view by the Granger forest. Jason began barking now that the danger had passed, but he did not come out. As I reached for the porch to steady myself, there was a sense of quiet movement in the darkness. The moon slid from its dark covers, cloaking the earth in a shadowy white light, and I could see Mr. Morrison clearly, moving silently, like a jungle cat, from the side of the house to the road, a shotgun in his hand. Feeling sick, I crawled onto the porch and crept trembling toward the door. Once inside, I leaned against the latch while waves of sick terror swept over me. Realizing that I must get into bed before Mamma or Big Ma came from the other room, I pulled off my muddy clothes, turning them inside out to wipe the mud from my body, and put on my night clothes. Then I climbed into the softness of the bed. I lay very still for a while, not allowing myself to think. But soon, against my will, the vision of ghostly headlights soaked into my mind, and an uncontrollable trembling racked my body, and it remained until the dawn, when I fell into a restless sleep.